Guys, I'm very excited to share with you the results of our VIP group of Telegram. The signals which we have sent last week actually did really well, and allow me to show you guys the trick here. So as you can see, for example, 20th of March was really so good, and almost all of the signals have reached the take profit number 1 and 2 as well, making that day alone more than 250 pips of profit. Now, 21 March is really interesting day because many of the signals had indeed hit the stop loss. But wait, there is something in this. Pay attention. The stop losses, guys, are really tight and small. Meanwhile, one take profit number 1 has actually wiped 90% of all of these losses. And then the other signals, take profit number 1, 90 pips, has also made sure that all of the clients in that group have actually ended up in a good profit. So as you can see, the stop loss is really small. Meanwhile, the take profit level is really big. That's our strategy in the signals, and that is exactly what we are doing right now. The signals have changed, as I told you before. Now let's move to March 22. As you can see, we had here, for example, 4 signals hit the stop loss of only 20 pips. Meanwhile, the take profit number 1 for the pound JPY is 105 pips of profit. And you can use the same principle on all of the signals. As we can see, March 23 as well, we have actually a few signals hit the stop loss, but also it was a very small tight stop loss of 15 and 22 pips against EURUSDCAD. Hit take profit number 1, 100 pips of profit. And of course, add to this the entire actually the extra profits that we have made from the Euro AUD and the Euro Pound. So as you can see, my friends, these signals are really doing so well. Even though some signals hitting the stop loss, the other signals which hitting the take profit number 1 in profit is actually recovering all of the losses happened and actually making sure that the clients are ending up in a good profit. That's the reason this month so far we have made more than 1,103 pips of profit to our clients, and this week alone we have made 402 pips of profit. So I think everything is going so well. The clients are happy with the service, I think, and of course we have made sure that they have ended almost each day in a good profit. So of course, guys, seeing is believing. If you want to make sure of these results, you have to try it yourself to make sure that you can really end up in a good profit. So of course, if you wish to join Xtreme Trader Forex Signals group, please contact our support. You can find their contact details in the description below of this video. Contact them today and hopefully we will see you there. So now let's begin with the weekly analysis, and before that, guys, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel, and of course share the video. So let's now begin and start with the Euro USD. So first of all, let's now move to the weekly chart, and what we can see right here, guys, is something actually interesting. Now we can see that the Euro USD has indeed managed to make the bullish breakout from that long-term support right here at 1.06432. However, the Euro USD has also made a pressure on the resistance right here at 1.08901, and as you can see, eventually the weekly candle has actually made an attempt to break out from that level of a resistance, but it has failed, which means that the Euro USD on the next weekly candle is most likely going to continue the fall to reach at least that level of a support right here again at 1.05439. which means we have to consider shorting the Euro USD for this week. So let's now move to the daily charts. Alright, so now on the daily chart, we can notice that the market has indeed managed to make here a bullish breakout candle from that level of a resistance right here at 1.07740, but the next candle has actually proven to be a fake breakout, which means we have to consider shorting the Euro USD right here at some place, of course, at the real level of a resistance, and that can be seen right here exactly at 1.08002. That level, my friends, was of course the nearest real level of a resistance to that fake breakout candle, and it was in the past a real level of a support as well. So meaning, if we now move to the 4-hour time frame, now as you can see, that is really clear to us. Now if we scroll to the left side, we can confirm that this, of course, in the past has been a real level of a support. Meanwhile, we had here number 1 and number 2 fake breakouts. However, we had here another real support level, which has become also a real level of a resistance later. Now recently, the market has indeed made the fake breakout from that level, which indicates that shorting the EURUSD right here at that level of a real resistance is going to be ideal. And of course, if you want another confirmation, what we can do right here is of course using the resistance trend line. And what I'm going to do is simply draw the resistance trend line right here, and later I'm going to just simply drag the same resistance trend line and place it all the way right here at the nearest resistance trend line, as you can see exactly right here. This is the nearest resistance trend line, and as you can see, if the market is going to be able to reach that level of horizontal resistance, it's going to also match up along with the resistance trend line. It's going to be countered with it, and therefore the EURUSD is most likely going to continue the fall, at least to reach that level of a previous resistance right here, which was in the past also a real level of a resistance also. That means we have to wait for the market to rise for about 41 pips before we can start shorting it. Meanwhile, the take profit level is going to be placed just right there exactly at the nearest previous resistance and a real support at 1.06910, which means the take profit level going to be about 107 pips. Meanwhile, the safe zone shouldn't actually be ranging higher than this level of a previous resistance right here at 1.06657, which means the safe zone will be ranging for about 55 pips against 107 pips of profit. That's everything for this pair. Let's now move to the pound USD, which is actually going to be very similar to the Euro USD. As you can see on the weekly chart, the market has also failed to break out from that long-term resistance at 1.24225, which means the next candle is most likely, based of course on the weekly chart, is going to be bearish candle, and most likely the next candle going to continue the fall to reach the nearest strong key support level at 1.19983. Which means we have to consider shorting this pair. However, we have to of course to find the real level of a resistance and accordingly start shorting this pair. That can be seen of course very clear right here at 1.22701. That was of course, my friends, the real level of a resistance. Meanwhile, we had right here the fake breakout from that level, and if we switch right now to the 4-hour time frame, now we can see it actually more clear. Now we can see that right here we had of course the real level of a resistance. We had right here of course a real level of a resistance as well. Meanwhile, we have faced right here the fake breakout. Now pay attention, the market has indeed made here one reversal, indicates that this was indeed a support. However, the next candles actually failed to create a second attempt of the support and instantly broke out from that level, which indicates that the pound USD is indeed going to continue the fall. Now of course we have to use the same principles we have used with the Euro USD, and let's just make sure that that resistance trend line is also going to be respected, as we can see. Now we have drawn here the resistance trend line. As you can see, it has been respecting all these levels, and now if the market is going to continue the rise, it's also going to be encountered with that resistance level horizontally and the resistance trend line, which means we have to wait for the pound USD to rise for about 40 pips before we can start shorting it. However, if we started selling the market, most likely we can close this trade in profit once the market reached that level of a support at 1.21330, which means the take profit level is going to be approximately 136 pips of profit. Meanwhile, the safe zone shouldn't be ranging higher than the peak of the resistance at 1.233336, which means the safe zone is going to be ranging for about 63 pips against 136 pips of profit. Let's now move to the AUDUSD. Alright, so from the first sight of the AUDUSD, we can see clearly that the market has indeed managed to create here a strong key support level and recently kept retesting that level of a broken support and creating here multiple attempts of a resistance. Now, most likely, the AUDUSD is indeed going to continue the fall. As you can see, the market has made here that channel which has recently been broken out from. Now, what we will do right here, my friends, is simply start shorting the AUDUSD right on the retest of the broken level of that channel, which means we will have to wait for the market to rise again to reach the real level of a resistance. I think right here, let me just be sure. Let me just actually right here exactly that level of a resistance, because as we can see right here, we're having a resistance number 1. So therefore, selling the market is exactly the second attempt of the resistance is going to be ideal. It's also going to be retesting the broken level of a support trend line right here. And also, if I'm not mistaken, and hopefully I'm not, if we look at that level of a resistance trend line, we can notice right here, my friends, that the market, of course, respecting that level of a resistance trend line. Now what you will do is simply drag the very same resistance trend line and place it right here at the next resistance trend line. That is, of course, what we call the magic of trend lines. That resistance trend line which I have drawn here is most likely going to be also respected once the market touch that level of a resistance number 1 and to create the second attempt of the resistance, and that is of course going to be the first attempt of the resistance trend line, and after that the AUDUSD is most likely going to continue the fall. Now let me just confirm this. Actually, I'm sure many of you don't believe in the magic of trend lines. Do you see, guys, this resistance trend line which I have just drawn here? If you just drag it and place it everywhere, check this out. Notice this, the market is indeed respecting those levels, and that support trend line has also been respected. Now you can place it actually anywhere you want. You can place it right here, for example. Check this out. The market has indeed managed to create a resistance trend line, then support trend line on the same levels which I have just dragged and drawn based on that resistance trend line. And as you can see, that the market is indeed respecting that level continuously. So that's the reason we call it the magic of trend lines. Therefore, selling the AUDUSD right here at that resistance at 0.66863 is going to be a good idea. However, the take profit level is going to be placed right here at the absolutely lowest level of the support at 0.65803, which means the take profit level is going to be 104 pips. Meanwhile, the safe zone shouldn't actually be ranging higher than the real level of a resistance right here at 0.67299 for about 44 pips against 105 pips of profit. Let's now move to the USDCAD. Alright, so regarding the USDCAD, if we now move to the weekly chart, what we can see right here, my friends, is of course the bullish breakout from that level of a resistance right here at 1.37030, which indicates that the USDCAD is indeed going to continue the rise, and the target is at least going to be right here, the peak of the resistance at 1.39721. Now moving to the daily chart. Based on the daily chart, we can notice that right here, of course, for multiple days, actually the market has made an attempt to break out from that level of a support. As we can see, we had number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. For almost 10 days, the USDCAD has made an attempt to break out from that level of a previous resistance to create, of course, a fake breakout. However, it has ended up creating here a real level of the support. Now, the last candle which has appeared right here actually confirms that the USDCAD is going to continue the rise. Now, moving to the 4-hour time frame. Based on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that right here, of course, the market has also made here a fake breakout, but eventually, and since we have analyzed based on the weekly and daily chart, the market is going to continue the rise. The question is where we can start buying the USDCAD. The answer lies right here on that level of a previous support right here. Exactly. Just let me just be sure and be precise. Exactly right there. Perfect. At 1.37088. That level, of course, has actually been a real level of a support. We have actually faced fewer attempts of a fake breakouts, but eventually this has actually been a real level of the support for at least 2 times. Now we can see that recently also the market has made right here a real level of the support as well. So this tail right here represents the support number 1, and we can safely start buying the USDCAD right here, right on the second attempt of the support, which means we have to wait for the market to fall for about 36 pips before we can start buying it. Add to this, of course, the support trend line which we are having right here, and as we can see, my friends, the market has of course respected that support trend line level. What I can do right here is simply draw the support trend line from this lower low to this higher low, and as we can see, we will also end up here with another support trend line which has faced, of course, multiple attempts of a fake breakout, but recently has also been respected. That being said, of course, we can start buying the market at this point. However, the take profit level is going to be placed right here at the absolute highest level of the resistance at 1.38433, which means we will be expecting to make 134 pips profit from this signal. Meanwhile, the safe zone shouldn't be ranging lower than this level of a support at 1.36524, which means the safe zone is ranging for about 55 pips against 135 pips of profit. Let's now move to the USDJPY. Alright, so again, we are still sticking to buying the USDJPY. If we look, my friends, at the weekly chart, we are still facing that level of a strong key support zone right here at 130.715. And most likely right now, the next candle is also going to be bullish, which means that level of a support is most likely going to be respected as well. And of course, add to this the support trend lines. If we draw here a support trend line, as you can see, notice right here that the market is indeed respecting that level of a support trend line. Combining this with that support right here horizontally, it seems like the USDJPY is looking for a bullish rally for the next week. Now, moving to the daily chart. You know something? Even let's move to the 4-hour time frame. Now, on the 4-hour time frame, what we can see right here, of course, my friends, is a real level of a resistance exactly right there at 130.305. Now, of course, we have faced right here another fake breakout, but I want you guys to pay attention to the left side and look at the left, how the market has also been always respecting that level as a real support, and it was also a real level of a resistance. So it was here also another real level of a support. Meanwhile, it was here a fake breakout. Now, 130.305 is indeed a very strong level, and most likely we can safely buy the USDJPY from there, which means we will have to wait for the market to fall for about, I would say, about 40 pips before we can start buying it. But if we do that, the take profit level, actually, I want to give you guys a safe take profit level. I don't want to keep the trade running for so long. Therefore, yes, the take profit level is going to be placed right here at the nearest strong key resistance level, exactly at 131.675. Meanwhile, the safe zone shouldn't be ranging lower than this level of a support right here at 129.827, which means the safe zone ranging for approximately 50 pips against 135 pips of profits. Let's now move to the USDCHF. Alright, so from the first look at the USDCHF, we can notice right here, of course, that we had also a very strong key support zone, as we can see, at 0.91740, and seems like the market is indeed respecting those levels. Now, eventually, based on the daily chart, last Thursday candle has actually closed as a pin bar. Meanwhile, Friday candle has closed as a blue candle, but the price action for the blue candle also indicates for a continuation in the rise, which means the USDCHF is definitely going to continue the rise. However, we have to wait for the pullback to occur before we can start buying it. If I'm not mistaken, guys, I believe that the USDCHF is actually going to continue the rise instantly at the opening of Monday. I don't think that the USDCHF has any chance to make a pullback at the moment, but still we have to, of course, send you with the safest entry possible. But before that, please make sure that you have hit the like button and you have subscribed to the channel, and of course you have shared the video in your social media groups. However, let's now move to the 4-hour time frame. Now, based on the 4-hour time frame, what we can see right here is, of course, a previous level of a support, which is now being retested by the USDCHF. Now, as I said before, the market has already made here a pullback and instantly made a bullish reversal. That's the reason I think that the candle or the next candle on Monday opening is going to be a blue candle, and most likely the market will continue the rise. But let's just hope for the best, and hopefully the market will make a reversal or a pullback and is going to continue the fall to reach the absolutely lowest level of the real support right before that resistance right there, which means the market will continue the fall to retest the support number 1 right here. This is, of course, a support number 1 as 0.91733, which means the market will fall for about 25 pips before we can start buying it. However, if we do that, the take profit level is going to be placed right here at the absolute highest level of a resistance at 0.93078, which means the target is going to be about 134 pips of profit. Meanwhile, the safe zone is going to be ranging just till the lowest level of the support as 0.91182, which means the safe zone ranging for about 55 pips against 135 pips of profit. Let's now move to the gold. Alright, my friends, so regarding the gold, if we move now to the weekly chart, What we can see right here actually that the gold has indeed reversed exactly at the highest level of the resistance at 2009.22. The gold has actually fallen sharply right after reaching that level of resistance. It has made a pullback for about 751 pips. Then the gold has made another bullish reversal, reaching almost the same level at 2003.18, and then falls back for about 243 pips. That, my friends, is quite a lot of pips. And as you can see, for the entire week, the gold has made an attempt to break out from that level of resistance at in general 2000 price. However, eventually the gold has actually failed. And as you can see, of course, based on the monthly chart right now, the gold right now is at the peak of the resistance. So actually right now the gold is at one of the highest prices that it has ever reached, which means we have to consider shorting the gold for this week. However, not for so long. We are not going to keep shorting it for so long, my friends, because we don't know exactly what will gonna happen right now. Of course, from the fundamentals issues, the United States is still actually under the impact of the bankruptcy happened to Silicon Valley Bank, and actually they are trying to save the other banks from facing the same fate. However, most likely right now, guys, the gold is indeed going to continue the fall, and that can be confirmed by the last price action that has closed actually on the weekly candle. The weekly candle, guys, has actually closed as this in this price action. Usually, once we see this candle has appeared on the resistance level, usually, guys, it's gonna start the bearish reversal, which means the next candle is usually gonna be a red candle. It cannot be a blue candle, in my opinion, at this rate. However, now by moving to the actually, let's move to the 1 hour time frame, since we have to be really specific when we are analyzing the gold. Now let me just tell you something. Now, after confirming that the gold is most likely going to continue the fall, and on the 1 hour time frame, we're having right here, of course, the double top pattern has appeared. We can consider that we're having right here, of course, as a channel. That is, of course, a triangle, as we can see. That is, of course, my friends, what we call the sniper strategy. It is all about finding these triangles and these structures, just like that, like this. Let me just edit this one to make it just a channel, just like that. Fantastic. Now we can confirm that the gold is most likely gonna make a pullback right here to retest the broken level of a support trend line, and on the left side also we're having that level of a real resistance, as we can see right here at 1990.22, which means the gold is most likely going to continue the rise, reaching that level of a real resistance, which also has faced a fake breakout number 1, and then it was, of course, a support attempt. However, the gold has indeed managed to create the bearish breakout from that level, my friends, and right now it's going to continue the rise to retest the broken level of a real resistance, and also retesting the broken level of a channel right here, and that support trend line is going to become a new resistance trend line. If that happens, then the gold will continue the fall, which means the take profit level has got to be right here exactly at the absolute lowest level of that tail, as we can see right here. That is, of course, the nearest strong key support level to our entry at 1954.17. However, the safe zone should not be ranging higher than the peak of the resistance right here at 2003.01, which means the take profit level is going to be 355 pips of profit, and the safe zone is going to be ranging for about 132 pips. And there goes the signal, my friends, for the USD pairs and for the gold for the upcoming week. Hopefully, guys, it's going to be a good week, and hopefully everyone is going to make good profits with our signals and from the VIP signals on Telegram as well. Please don't forget to visit our channel on Telegram and try these signals by yourself, guys. Seeing is believing, and make sure to not listen to the haters. Make sure to try it yourself in order to understand how our signals are really so profitable. So until then, I hope that is informative to you, and I would like to thank you for watching.